It's that time of the season again for some holiday picks. We've selected some Ryes, and we're going to let you know what we chose.
Yeah, so we've got a lineup here of 6 different Ryes that we've all kind of picked as some of our favorites and some that are readily available on shelf today. They're easy for you guys to get. We're glad you guys are here. James?
So I kind of did something a little different this time. I got a Pikesville rye, and this is a Heaven Hill product. It's 110 proof. I am not typically a rye guy, but last year when we picked, I was the only one that picked all ryes. But I picked this one for a good holiday one. Of course, you guys know I'm a huge JD barrel proof fan. So, of course, the JD barrel proof rye made the list because this is probably my number. It's in my top 5 for the year.
So what are you drinking?
So I'm drinking Pikesville 110, which is very floral. It's very, very delicious smelling. And, you know, like I said, I don't really typically like ryes as well, but I typically like higher proof. So I picked this one for that reason. But it's a Heaven Hill, like I said earlier. So their flavor profile's all pretty good.
Yep. Well, cool. Well, part of what we want you guys to be able to do is take these to a holiday party. Like we talked about this last year too. These are great selections to be able to take to a party. You can drink them straight. You can drink them on the rocks. Now, you want to talk about not drinking on the rocks. So the way you feel about it.
Y'all know me. I don't typically put anything on the rocks unless it's something real high proof or I'm just feeling like it. But or I'm making a drink with them, some kind of liquor drink. But I don't typically put ice in mine, but I definitely don't put ice in my rye. It makes it have like a grass, rye, hay flavor that I don't like. It makes it more youthful. It doesn't roll off the tongue. It's astringent. I don't like how it tastes. So it gives it a bad smell too, in my opinion.
Gotcha. All right.
So no ice for me.
No ice for you, but being able to mix it with something is always pretty good at a party. So I've got a bottle of Blenheim's ginger ale in front, great to mix with a rye. I've got 2 ryes here, the High West Rendezvous rye right here. High West is based in Colorado, I believe, or Utah. Right. Utah.
Is it Utah?
I think it is Utah. And they make some great bourbons. This is the Rendezvous rye. It's really good. I'm drinking
Park City, Utah.
Park City, yep. And I'm drinking the Redwood Empire Emerald Giant is the one that I'm drinking right now.
That's good stuff.
Open this. Really good.
That's really good.
This is a great
one. Did we open one of those on a show before?
I don't know if we have or not.
Sometimes I can confuse the shows with real life, but we've opened those in real life a few times. So
we opened one of those with some folks. I think.
Yeah, you and I may not have been on the show.
Yeah, you and I did. That's what it was.
We did. That's what it was. Yeah.
But that's the Redwood Empire is what I'm drinking. It's a really good, nice rye. It's nice and smooth.
Yeah, this is the Emerald Giant.
A little bit of heat to it, but man, it's got a nice flavor to it.
So you mentioned heat with rye, and I think sometimes we talk about heat with proof, and so I think those are 2 different types of, I guess, if you want to use the term heat. So rye is going to tend to be a little bit more spice forward.
I think
generally speaking.
I don't get heat as much off the ryes as much as I get the spice.
I get a lot of spice off.
I get the spice off.
And I think the strength of that flavor can sometimes be confusing as well. So I think if you're used to a sweeter bourbon and then you get something that's either a high rye or that's a rye whiskey, I think it can confuse your perception of proof. At least it does for me.
And for me, I talked about how I don't like how that the ice waters down that drink and makes it grassy. So I like a higher proof rye.
Mm-hmm. And so ryes tend to, especially for those of us who are traditionally bourbon drinkers, you have kind of your category of the bourbon ryes, and then you've got things that are much more forward in rye. And in this case, so my picks are the Whistle Pig. This is a store pick. This is a 10-year.
Minimum. It may be longer than 10. We don't really know.
Right. They tend to be longer. So I'm not sure what this one is, but it's a minimum of 10 years. And so my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe that Whistle Pig ryes are 100% rye.
I don't know.
I think they are. We'll have to do a little fact check. If I'm wrong about that, I'll put that on the screen. But that contrasts pretty heavily with my second pick, which is also a Heaven Hill product. This is Rittenhouse Rye. So these are both kind of northeastern, origin in terms of where they're made. But the or at least originally made, I'm sorry. So Rittenhouse used to be made in Philadelphia. It is what we consider a barely legal rye. So as you know from bourbon, it must be a minimum of 51% corn distillate. And for rye, it's the same thing for the rye. So the rye grain has to be at least 51%. I'm pretty sure that the Whistle Pig, again, I'll correct myself if I'm wrong.
I think it is, though.
in the subtitles. The Whistle Pig is 100%. Rittenhouse is considered a barely legal rye at 51% rye.
But is this bottled in bond?
That is bottled in bond.
It is a bottled in bond, so it's 100 proof.
It is 100 proof, yeah. And that the Whistle Pig is slightly higher than that. This particular one, this single barrel is 109.2. So it is a little bit higher in proof. And I'm kind of with you on the ice thing, but I don't know if it's for the same reason. I don't know that I get as much of that. Hey, I don't really tend to mix with ice or water on a rye either, because if I'm going to drink the rye, I think I'm wanting that extra spice, and so I feel like it does water it down. And for you, I think the watered down may reveal itself as that kind of hay-like grassy flavor.
It definitely waters it down some, but depending on how much heat it has or how spicy it is, you might want to tone that down. And then, look, if you're going to mix it with something, it's obviously it's going to get toned down from there. So really, you're there for the alcohol and the blend of what you're mixing it with. So,
and one thing to consider too, out of all these 6 that we have out here in front of you, if you are a bourbon drinker traditionally and you want to try to get into the Ryes, of all these 6, that Rittenhouse is going to be the one you want to try first.
Absolutely, 100%. That's a good point.
That's a good one, really good one. And then,
but then you should absolutely go buy this, because this is unreal. This is unreal.
That's very good.
Yeah, I think it's really kind of interesting. I think Jack Daniels is. We've talked about Jack Daniels before a good bit. Great product from Brown-Forman. I think after tasting some of the single barrels we tasted and the 10-year, the 10-year allocated, the 12-year. Some of those things. I think Jack Daniels just puts out a great product.
They really do,
and it's a lot like another great Brown-Forman product, which is Old Forester, that everybody knows we like too. They're all just very good, very consistent products that you can kind of count on. I'm not big on Old Number 7. It's just kind of a if you're going to mix it with Coke, which I don't drink Coke and I don't drink Old Number 7, but the others, the single barrels and stuff like that, are all great bourbons. Great drink.
Yep.
This is a good lineup here, boys. We did good on this. I think this will help you guys out if you really want to get some for the holiday season, Christmas, Hanukkah, all that. Try these out, see what you think.
Yeah, let us know what you think. Give us a comment and let us know what you think about these. And if you take one of these to a party, let us know how people enjoy it. Cheers.
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 Merry Christmas.
Drink, enjoy, share.